Are you looking for ideas for your December morning basket? Then you've come to the right place. I'm Christy with Homeschooling in Progress. In this video, I'm going to share with you what we use in our December morning basket to give you some ideas to incorporate into your own. December is a wonderful time to add in Advent and Christmas materials into your morning basket. And I'm going to share with you a lot of the ones that we include. Now, we do try to live liturgically throughout the year and keep each season celebrated during its season, but we don't school over the Christmas season. And so I will include Christmas materials in our December morning basket, even though our focus is mostly Advent. I don't want my kids to miss out on all the great resources out there for Christmas. So we will incorporate some of those into our morning basket. And we're not going to switch everything to Advent and Christmas materials. Some of the things that we do throughout our morning basket each day will stay the same. And if you want to hear more about what those are, I do have a video on what we just normally have in our morning basket that you'll see up above right now that you can go check out. Okay, so on to our regular December morning basket. Some of the things that are going to stay the same, we always start each day with a prayer, and so that'll stay the same. And then we include a decade of our rosary, and so we won't change at all. We do have memory work that we like to do in the mornings after that. That may or may not change. I'm still kind of toying with that idea. I'm thinking about maybe memorizing some type of Christmas song, Christmas poem instead. So that may or may not change. I'm still not decided on that. But you could definitely put Christmas materials, poems, or a verse of a song or something like that into your December morning basket. Or even O Come, O Come Emmanuel would be a nice one as more of an Advent type thing to add into your morning basket. Vocabulary will stay the same. We just do a vocab word of the day, so that's not going to change. And on Mondays, we like to do Life of Fred as a math supplement, and so that'll stay the same as well. And then on Wednesdays, we do a drawing lesson, and I'm also kind of toying with the idea of maybe adding in some Christmas drawing instead of just the book that we normally use. So might kind of see how that goes, and may or may not do a Christmas drawing, but again, that's something that would be nice to add to a December morning basket is how to draw different Christmas items. So some things that you can add to your morning basket for December. Now, some of the things we will change. And when I'm talking about my morning basket, I am mostly just focused on my older boys. Our 3-year-old he kind of comes and goes. He usually does the rosary with us, but then he kind of comes and goes during the rest of the morning time. So I don't specifically do a morning basket with him. I do more sensory materials, and I'll read Christmas books. I have a little basket set out just for him of books that he would like to read. So I'll change out ours to Christmas for that. And then I have lots of different colors of Play-Doh, and we have rice that's colored red and green, and some things like that for his sensory bins. So that's more for him. The morning baskets that I'm talking about now are more for my elementary age. So what's different that we're going to do, we're going to, we do use music in our homeschool, and we do squilt with that, which is super quiet, uninterrupted listening time. And we're members of the Squilt Live. And I'll leave a link to that below if you want to check that out. Each month we do 2 live lessons, and Handel's Messiah is going to be the focus on our December. Now that is on Monday and Thursday afternoons, so we don't include it in our morning time, but on Thursdays we do a composer study. And so I'm going to make our composer for December Handel. The Squilt Live members are getting a bonus lesson of the Handel unit study for free, and so that's what we're going to use for our composer study this month. And then on Tuesdays, we do an artist study. Now, what we're going to do this month, I found this really fun sounding, we haven't done it yet, so I'm not exactly sure what it's included, but it sounds really fun. We're excited to do it, is a Nutcracker Workshop with art history kids. And it's a 12-day workshop that starts on December 9th. I'll leave another link to that below. It is free, and we're going to learn about 4 different artists' works, and the kids are going to get to do 4 of their own projects. And the neat thing is that there's no extra materials we have to buy for it. It's just using stuff we already have at home. So we are really excited to include that into our art. So since it's a 12-day workshop, it's not going to be just on Tuesdays, but we're just going to kind of use that as our art during our morning time for December instead. And then something else that will it kind of stays the same, it kind of changes, is our read alouds. I do always like to end our morning time with a read aloud, but what's different is the book that we're going to read. We did just finish The Vanderbeekers of 141st Street. Now, if you haven't read it yet, it is a great book that you can do during December because that's when it's set. The kids, this family lives in a house that they rent, and the landlord is not renewing their lease. You find out in the book why. But the kids are trying to save their apartment. They don't want to leave. And so that's what the whole story is. And they're supposed to be moving out at the end of the year. So it's all over the Christmas season, or over December. And so it's a great book to add to your December read aloud if you haven't read it yet. What we are currently reading is The Family Under the Bridge. We're only a few chapters in so far, but we're really enjoying it. It's about an older gentleman who lives in Paris. He's homeless. He spends his winters living under this certain bridge, but then when he goes to stay there for the winter, he finds a family of 3 children with their mother already there. So we're looking forward to finishing this book. And then once we finish that, we're going to finish up our December read alouds with The Gift of the Magi. So lots of nice Christmas themed, winter, December themed books for us to read. And we'll also sprinkle in some Christmas picture books along the way. And then another thing that we do during our read alouds is a saint of the day. I have these little cards that we do each day, but then during December, we'll continue doing the cards. But then if we come up with a feast day of a saint during Advent, we'll just talk about that saint instead. So like December 6th is St. Nicholas. I have a few St. Nicholas books. We have a video on the boy who became Santa. So those will be things that we do instead of our regular Saint of the Day study. So kind of the same, kind of different. St. Lucy, we'll read a book on her, on how Sweden celebrates it. So just various saints, the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe and St. Juan Diego. So several different saints that we can read books about during our Saint of the Day morning time. And there is one other thing that we do not include in our morning time. We do it at the end of the day, but it is a wonderful morning time read. And so I want to mention that here in case you want to add it to your morning time. If you do a Bible time, this is a great time to do this one instead. It's an Advent devotion. Now, this is just one of the books. This is Jotham's Journey. There's a set of 4, actually. There's Jotham's Journey as the first one, and then we have Bartholomew's Passage, Tabitha's Travels, and Ishtar's Odyssey is the last one. That's what we're doing this year. And so we'll be finishing up all 4 of them. But my kids, and I've even enjoyed it as well, we really enjoy the stories. It is a day, you read 1 chapter each day of Advent, all the way up to Christmas Eve. And there's a chapter each day and then a devotion that goes along with it. And it's a really fun story. It follows the child who is titled in the book. And you actually get to meet each of the 4 children that have their own book throughout each other's books. But it's a really fun story. It can be a little violent if your kids are really sensitive or if they're really young. So you may want to kind of pre-read some of it beforehand. But I've been reading it since, I think I've been reading it since they were as young as 6. So, and they've been fine with it. So, you kind of have to just see how your family does for that. But this is a really nice thing that you can do during your Bible time. or even just to include in your December morning basket. So I did want to mention that. We do it as part of our evening time along with the Jessie tree that I talk about in my Advent traditions video, but definitely something that you could do in morning time. So I wanted to mention that. So hopefully those are some ideas for you that you can either add to your morning time, or maybe you can change, like instead of doing a certain composer, you do Handel or something like that to kind of celebrate the Advent and Christmas time of December. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for your December morning basket. If there are ideas that I didn't include that your family loves to use in their morning basket, please feel free to put those in the comments, because I'm sure other viewers would love to get even more ideas. And be sure to check out the links below. That I'll link each thing that I talked about, so you can check it out more through the link. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful December morning basket. Happy homeschooling.